Hello, everyone, and welcome to Session 5, AI Integration Across Professional Disciplines. I'm glad to see everyone back so we can continue our journey through how AI is reshaping professional practice in various industries. So let's begin with a quick recap of our last session. Previously, we have focused on the fundamentals of prompt engineering, how to communicate with AI clearly, precisely, and effectively. We discussed the importance of structure, context, and tone when formulating prompts and how the outputs you receive are only as good as the instructions you give. So the garbage out, garbage in, garbage out principle. The key takeaway from that session was simple but powerful. AI understands exactly what you say, not what you mean. That insight forms the foundation for everything we'll discuss today. Because as AI becomes more integrated into professional settings, the way we ask, guide, and collaborate with it becomes critical. Now, in today's session, we're moving from how of prompting to where and why of AI, how it's being applied beyond the tech sector across professional disciplines, and what that means for all of us. Our learning objectives today are fourfold. First, to explore how AI is transforming industries outside of traditional technology roles. Second, to understand the balance between automation and human judgment, or what we'll call AI augmentation practice. Third, is to reflect how we as professionals can integrate AI into our workflows responsibly, effectively, and apply the principles of responsible AI use, maintaining human judgment, accountability, and ethical standards. So let's start with an observation that's becoming increasingly undeniable. AI is no longer confined to computer science or software engineering. It's not just a futuristic concept or a specialized research field anymore. It is a tool and a very powerful one that's now embedded across nearly every professional domain. We see AI in healthcare, where it analyzes scans and support diagnosis, in education, where personalized learning, in finance, where it detects fraud and forecast markets, in law, where it summarizes cases, and in marketing and manufacturing, where it drives creativity and predictive planning. In short, AI is everywhere, not as a headline or a buzzword, but as a practical part of daily professional life. Sorry. But what's most interesting is not just that AI has entered these fields, it's how it's changing the balance of work between humans and machines. We're seeing a gradual but profound shift in roles. AI takes on the tasks that are heavy duty, that are data heavy, repetitive, and rule-based, the kind of work that requires precision but not much judgment. Meanwhile, human professionals are moving toward tasks that require creativity, context, and critical thinking. Doctors interpret what AI finds, teachers use AI insights to tailor lessons, marketers use AI ideas as starting points for storytelling. It's no longer about replacement, it's about redistribution. In this sense, AI has become a partner, not a competitor. It handles the groundwork, leaving people with more time and mental space to focus on complex, meaningful, and human-centered work. The real transformation then isn't about technology taking over, it's about humans learning to work differently, using AI as an extension of the intelligence rather than a substitute for it. So, to give you guys just an idea, let's look at a few examples of how this plays out in practice. Um, it- let's let's look at healthcare. So in healthcare, AI supports doctors by analyzing medical images, summarizing patient notes, and identifying patterns in large data sets that might otherwise go unnoticed. For instance, an AI model can detect early signs of diabetic retinopathy, just a type of disease, or cancer in scans long before symptoms appear. This doesn't mean doctors are obsolete, but quite the opposite. It frees them to focus more on patient interaction, ethical decision making, and treatment planning. The human role shifts from data collection to data interpretation. Doctors might still make the ultimate call, grounded in empathy, clinical judgment, and accountability. So just looking at here, there's a new balance for AI augmentation in practice. So just the principle of the mirror, this sector-specific examples serve as mirror universal patterns of collaboration applicable to any profession, including your own. So we'll be, yeah, looking through healthcare, finance, education, but the universal balance is that AI handles the repetitive, information-heavy, and mechanical aspects of work, while humans retain responsibility for more complex tasks that require human judgment, ethical decision making, and just core professional expertise. Forgot to do that. Okay. But now let's just move to education, which is another great example where AI is helping teachers personalize learning experiences. So tools like adaptive learning program platforms can analyze student performance data and tailor materials accordingly, perhaps slowing down for one student while accelerating another. AI can also help teachers plan lessons, create assessments, or even draft feedback. But education is far more than information transfer. A teacher's most valuable contributions are motivation, mentorship, and emotional understanding. Students need encouragement, empathy, and inspiration, qualities AI cannot replicate from a teacher. So again, like we mentioned before, AI takes the administrative burden while humans elevate the personal connections. Another example would be finance and law. So AI plays a very different but equally transformative role. So in finance, AI detects suspicious transactions. They can flag potential fraud and forecast market trends using real-time data. And in law, tools like Casetext or Harvey AI can instantly summarize legal documents or analyze precedents that once took days to review. So in both cases, AI acts as an information synthesizer, but humans still make the final call, interpreting context, ensuring compliance, and exercising ethical judgment. The professional responsibility never disappears, it just shifts to higher order oversight. Again, in marketing and communication, AI introduces an entirely new creative dynamic. Tools like ChatGPT, DALL-E, and Runway allow marketers and designers to brainstorm multiple versions of content, from copywriting to visuals, just in minutes. Imagine being able to test 10 different headlines, compare tones, or experiment with visuals instantly. So this iterative capability accelerates the creative process enormously. But again, the human remains the curator, the one who decides which ideas truly resonate, align with brand identity, and just connect emotionally with audiences. AI simply expands the creative playground, but humans supply the meaning. In manufacturing operations, AI's strength lies in predictive and preventive thinking. So, using data from sensors and machines, AI systems have been used to forecast potential equipment failures, a practice known as predictive maintenance. So, this allows companies to take preemptive actions, saving costs and avoiding downtime. It transforms reactive processes into proactive strategies. The same principle applies to logistics and project management. AI can highlight bottlenecks, anticipate delays, or flag resource constraints before they become crises. So, in this sense, AI acts as a clear warning system, helping humans make more informed decisions at a faster rate. So, if we zoom out from these examples, a clear theme sort of emerges. AI can be seen to consistently just amplify human capabilities by taking on tasks that are mechanical, repetitive, or data heavy. So it excels at processing and pattern recognition, while meanwhile humans continue to lead in reasoning, creativity, um, ethical reflection, emotional intelligence. So when both sides collaborate, when humans and AI play to their strengths, the outcome is far more effective than either could achieve alone. So here's just a quick reflection for you guys. What are the repetitive or pattern-based tasks in your own professional work? Where could AI surface insights, highlight recurring trends, or generate initial drafts that you could then refine with your expertise? Equally important, in which areas must you retain full control to ensure quality, accuracy, and accountability in your own professional work? These are the kinds of questions that help define the boundary between automation and human responsibility. Now, to integrate AI effectively, it's helpful to reframe how we think about it in professional settings. So, rather than viewing AI as a mysterious or external force, we should see it as part of our professional toolkit. So just like any other instrument that extends our reach. In the same way, calculators revolutionized accounting or word processors transformed writing, AI simply is the next evolution in our capacity to think, create, and decide more efficiently. So, yeah, let's unpack some of the main categories of AI tools available to professionals today. Generative AI is perhaps the most visible form, and for many people, is their first experience interacting directly with artificial intelligence. So these tools are like ChatGPT, DALL-E, Midjourney, Runway, and a growing number of specialized platforms that can create entirely new content, text, code, images, videos, and even music. So think of them as a digital co-creators that can help you brainstorm, draft, design, or simulate ideas almost instantly. For example, a marketing professional might use ChatGPT to draft 10 variations of an email campaign and then refine the one that best fits their tone. A designer could use DALL-E or Midjourney to generate concept art, logo ideas, or mockups for a client presentation. A programmer might ask a code assistant to generate a prototype or identify bugs in their work. See, the key advantage of generative AI is speed and variety. It enables professionals to explore dozens of directions that would otherwise take hours or days. It's not that AI produces perfect final outputs, and in fact, it often doesn't, but it accelerates the creative process by offering a starting point. So, a set of raw materials to refine. And the role of the human becomes that of an editor, a curator, and a decision maker, shaping, filtering, and adding insights that the AI might lack. So, generative AI opens the door to exploration, but it's still human judgment that turns that exploration into something meaningful. Next, we have analytical AI, which is designed to interpret complex data, identify patterns, and support decision making. This type of AI underpins much of what we see in business intelligence, finance, healthcare analytics, and even climate research. So platforms like Power BI, Tableau, or more advanced machine learning models can transform massive amounts of data into visual dashboards, forecasts, and actionable insights. For example, healthcare, analytical AI might track patient outcomes to predict recovery times or highlight early warning signs. And in business, it might help a retailer identify seasonal trends or a bank detect unusual spending behavior that could indicate fraud. The power of analytical AI lies in its ability to reveal patterns within sets of data that humans might never spot on their own. It takes vast amounts of information, sometimes millions of data points, and distills them into something that helps professionals make evidence-based decisions rather than relying on human intuition alone. So, however, as powerful as this is, humans still need to interpret what those patterns mean. Numbers can show correlation, but not always causation. A spike in data may signal a trend, or it may simply be noise. This is where the critical thinking and domain expertise of different human professionals are essential within the process. Then there's automation AI, which focuses on repetitive or rule-based workflows, the kind of work that requires precision but not creativity. This includes tasks like data entry, scheduling, invoice processing, and form validation. So robotic process automation, or RPA, is a key example. It mimics human actions within digital systems, performing tasks much faster and with fewer errors. In an office setting, automation AI might handle incoming customer emails, update a database, or generate reports overnight. In manufacturing, it might coordinate assembly line timing or manage inventory systems. The advantage here is quite obvious: time savings and accuracy. Automation AI frees professionals from tedious, low-value tasks so they can just focus on more strategic or human-centered work. But there is a catch because automation must be managed carefully because without proper oversight, errors can multiply quite quickly, as AI will faithfully repeat whatever process it's told to execute, even if that process is flawed. Clear rules, monitoring, and human checks are crucial to prevent small mistakes from scaling into big problems. So finally, we have hybrid or specialized AI, so systems that combines several of these capabilities into a single integrated platform. Microsoft Copilot, for example, merges generative, analytical, and automation features right into everyday tools like Word, Excel, and Outlook. You can ask it to draft an email, summarize meeting notes, analyze a spreadsheet, or even predict project timelines, all within the same environment. So we're going to use healthcare as another example. Specialized AI systems might integrate diagnostic image analysis with report writing, helping doctors move seamlessly from detection to documentation. An AI assistant might combine research analysis with drafting capabilities, generating a legal brief or cross-referencing relevant case law for lawyers. And hybrid tools represent the cutting edge of AI in professional life because they're not confined to one type of intelligence. They can blend creation, analysis, and action. This means they can adapt to a wide range of tasks and workflows, so learning from user behavior over time. However, they also demand more responsibility from the user because as the tools become more capable, the ethical and practical implications of their use becomes more complex. So understanding these categories, generative, analytical, automation, and hybrid, helps us move beyond the hype. It's not about using every tool available, but about knowing which kind of intelligence serves which purpose. So the best professionals will be those who can pair the right tool with the right task. So using AI thoughtfully to amplify their expertise, rather than outsource it within their professional domains. So of course, integrating AI isn't without its challenges. Data privacy remains one of the most significant concerns. This is mentioned in the previous session 4. So when sensitive information, whether it's medical records, legal documents, or financial data, passes through AI systems, professionals must ensure that confidentiality and security are preserved. There's also bias and fairness, which is one of the limitations that was mentioned of AI technology currently, since AI models are trained on data that reflect human biases. This means outputs can unintentionally reinforce inequities if we're not careful. And there's another barrier, which is the skill gap. Not all employees or professionals feel confident using AI tools, so organizations need to invest in training. Um, Finally, there's the issue of ethical oversight, which was mentioned in the security and ethics session. So we just need to ensure that AI use remains transparent, accountable, and aligned with human values, whether it's in the company, organization, whatever, because especially in high-stake contexts like healthcare or law, transparency becomes quite important. So all of these reinforces an important truth. Adopting AI is about people, not just technology. The ultimate goal is not to replace human intelligence, but to extend it. Humans bring qualities like empathy, ethical reasoning, and adaptability that AI simply cannot replicate. AI brings speed, precision, and pattern recognition, and when these strengths are properly aligned, the results are more efficient and ethical. That's what we mean by human-centered AI integration. So as professionals, our task is to ensure that AI serves as a genuine collaborator, one that enhances our impact without compromising, our values. So the most effective teams and organizations are those that understand this balance, letting AI handle what it does best while keeping humans in charge of judgment, context, and creativity. So to summarize our session so far, AI is reshaping every profession, not by replacing humans, but by redefining roles and responsibilities. Across sectors, the same pattern repeats. AI handles the routine, humans handle the meaningful. The most successful professionals of the future will be those who are AI literate, adaptable, ethically aware, and confident in using these tools to enhance rather than diminish their work. As we move toward the end of today's session, I want you to think about how these insights might apply in your own professional context. Where could AI improve efficiency, enhance insight, or expand your creative reach? What would responsible integration look like in your field? And perhaps most importantly, what boundaries would you put in place to ensure that human oversight, ethics, and accountability are never lost in the process? Because that's what this is all about. Building a future where humans and AI collaborate productively, ethically, and creatively. So Yeah, in our next session, we will be talking about integrating AI into professional workflows. So, practical strategies for governance, risk assessment, cultivating an AI-empowered workflow. But for now, I'd like to leave you with this thought. AI may be the most powerful tool of our generation, but its impact depends entirely on how we choose to use it. The professionals who thrive will be those who see AI not as a rival, but as a partner, one that helps us think bigger, work smarter, and greater, um, allowing us to create a better purpose with our own work. So, thank you.